Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Call. It's so wonderful to be with you today. I'm Leanne from Crafter's Companion, and I don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I am actually going to be with you for the entire day today. However, I am joined, and we established this last week, by legends in their own time. I am joined by the absolutely gorgeous Becky and Debbie today, and we have got some incredible new products for you, but also some fantastic deals and some fabulous demonstrations. And we're going to be talking a little bit about what's coming up next Friday. When I'm back again, I'm like a number 47 bus, so you don't see me for months, and then 7 of me come along at once. And we've got some fantastic deals because it's Black Friday next Friday, isn't it? So we'll talk a little bit about that in the show as well. But before we do any of that, ladies, what have you got for us? Becky, let's start with you.
I've got some,
Becky.
I've got some of the most beautiful fabrics, so really lovely Christmassy fabrics, and I've gone all out for Christmas. Everything I'm making is Christmas orientated. I like Christmas, as you can probably tell from the jumper.
I need that jumper in my life.
It's good, isn't it?
Because it's beautiful. Thin. So I can't cope with very thick jumpers.
Yes. Especially in here, it gets too hot.
In here, too warm, and also personal summers. So I need a nice thin jumper, and I like it.
Yeah.
So can you tell me where you got it later?
I can.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's all Christmassy. So I've got a really nice stocking panel. I've got some Christmas decorations I'm going to make. I'm going to make some Christmas bags, Christmas oven mitt, Christmas packaging. I'm going all out.
Oh my word, it's all about Christmas.
It's all about Christmas. That's just what it's like at my house.
It's the 12 days of Becky today.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. I'm very excited for it, I really am. And Debbie, you've got one of your faves. You've got a one-set wonder, love.
I have indeed. The one-set wonder is striking yet again, but this time in the form of shutter dies. Now, it's an age-old, we're not inventing the wheel or anything like that. It's an age-old, lovely concept of a card fold that's always been a little bit faffy and a little bit difficult, but not anymore with this one-set wonder, because I am super excited about this one, because you are going to be able to make shutter cards with ease and get this fantastic open and shutting effect, like the lens of a camera is just absolutely amazing. They flow beautifully, they're super easy to construct, and I have got loads and loads planned, and we're going to try and show you different ways that you can use them. Maybe you want to gift a box this year for Christmas, or maybe a birthday, or maybe a wedding, and you absolutely can, because you can take them and pop them onto the top of your beautiful box gifts as well. There's lots of things you can do with them. I'm really, really excited about this one, even though the lady herself who developed all this concept, honestly, it's like, I did say this, it's made it so much easier to be able to construct a really fun fold.
Well, thank you, and I'll pass that on to Jess, because I had nothing to do with it, Debbie.
They were making you all credit.
Honestly, all credit. I mean, I'll take it, Debbie. I might have said, oh, wouldn't it be good if we can?
Yes.
And then Jess had to make the wouldn't it be good if we can happen. So she did all of the difficult workings out. So we'll thank Jess for that. I'll pass it on. We have got so many of you joining us today. Let me just tell you, already our social comments are off the chart. We've got Rhiannon. Hello, Rhiannon. Lovely to see that you're with us. Claire Brunye, good morning. Pamela Dashwood, Kathy Myers, Tammy. There's no way I'm going to be able to say that, Tammy. Phonetically put it in your comment and then I'll have a go. I'm not even going to try, because I'll just offend everybody and make a laughing stock of myself. Jill, Helen Bell, Lorraine, Sandra Dundas, Lillian Kwok, Sylv Sparkley, Sarah Brown, so many of you. That's just half of the people that we've got joining us, so thank you. We're really grateful. Please do comment, let us know how you're enjoying the show, and ask questions. Let us know if you're struggling with something, or if there's an answer, a burning question you've got. We'll try and do our best over the next 2 hours for you. Now, the shutter dies are the product that we're going to be focusing on in the first or in the second part of the show, but the deal on that is absolutely exceptional. So let's just have a quick look at that deal. You can see there for only $24.99 or $29.95, and your platinum price is exceptional, that you're able to get that full set of dies, which makes all of those different shapes for you. It really is an amazing set of dies, and I've just been told we have sold a significant number of those already, and you've just had a little sneaky peek at them. I do predict, Debbie, I predict a riot on these. I won't sing it for you because it's not pretty, but I definitely predict a riot. I just absolutely love them. Now, we'll come back to those in the second part of the show, but for now, it's all about the 12 days of Becky, isn't it, Becky? That is my new thing.
I love
need some
that.
kind of graphic. We need a graphic for you.
We
don't
do.
The
I also
12th
need a
is
jingle, don't I? I'm desperate for a jingle and a graphic. Yeah, I mean, it's all about Christmas for me, definitely. I'm very excited because it's nearly Christmas and there's lots of Christmassy things around. So delighted with this new collection of fabric that we've got today. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. And we've got, the collection is absolutely stunning, and we are going to take a little moment to look at this, and then Becky is going to show us how to use it. I've got a question for you in the social comments.
Yep.
I'd like everybody to let us know, when is it acceptable to put up your tree? Oh, it's a controversial debate, that one, isn't it? When do you put up your tree? When do you think it's acceptable? Because I've already seen some trees up on my journey to work. And I've been seeing them since the 1st of November. I need to know, is that acceptable, Becky? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think it is?
It's not acceptable if it's a real tree because, you know, it's just going to look horrible by the 1st of December. But I think, why not? And I think actually during COVID and during all those lockdowns, people were putting up their decorations much earlier, weren't they? We were all looking for that festive cheer. And I think we should carry that on. So I think July.
Now, I'm normally the second week of December girl, which is quite late, isn't it? But that, to your point, I get a real tree usually, so I want it to last. However, my family are coming for 2.5 weeks prior to Christmas this year, and my granddaughters will be coming, so I'm actually putting my tree up on the 3rd of December, which is very, very early for me, very early. So let us know in the comments, I'm interested. Right, so this is the first fabric panel that we're looking at. And this is the first time I've seen this, Becky. And, okay, I need to say, ma'am, when you can you please go on and order me 2 panels because I'm live and it would be inappropriate to be on the website shopping at the same time. Ma'am or Marielle, that's my mother and my sister, Linda or Marielle, please get on the website and buy me 2 of these, because I need to make them for my girls. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous. And the fabric is always so nice and soft, isn't it? This Lewis and Irene fabric that we've got.
The quality.
Yeah, really
It's almost got like a soft satin cool touch to it. It feels, it's not, it feels like Egyptian cotton.
It does, yeah.
It just feels amazing. So that is your stocking panel. I love the fact that you've got the front and the back. And then what are we doing with all of these little circles?
Well, they're to make little decorations. So you could do them use them in all sorts of different ways. So you could maybe make them into a kind of bunting, or you could just make them into sort of circles and then hang them up, which is what I'm going to do. Or you could stuff them. All sorts of different things you could do.
Oh, I like that idea. So you could stuff them with a bit of ribbon on the top and then hang them on some thread. Yeah. Maybe put a pocket in the back, make it into an advent with a sweetie in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, Mum and Marielle, get shopping, please. Thanks. I'll pay you later. Okay. So the next one we're going to have a look at on your screen for you is a green and gold fabric. And this is great because it follows the theme of the stocking with the 12 days of Christmas, but you've just got all of the little squares on there. That is beautiful design as well.
It lends itself really well to be made into a kind of advent calendar. It looks like that. They look like those little chocolates I remember getting as a child, beautifully packaged in a box. That kind of thing.
We don't get them anymore.
No.
I used to really look forward to that. And they had the little bit of gold string on the top so you could hang them on the tree. Absolutely. I love that one. So that's on the cream. $7.49 or $10.99 for that. That is, for the quality that you're getting, is exceptional value for money. So the price is going to remain the same for you. Of course, if you're a platinum member, only $5.99 or $8.79. And then you're going to choose which of these options you like the most. So this is the same as you've just seen, but you've got a blue background rather than the cream background. Okay. And I'm just going to open up these ones that have got the pattern on because I think it's nice, and then I'll fold them all up again because I am making a mess beside myself here. But I think you want to see it, don't you? You want to see what it looks like. Some of the others that aren't quite as patterned, we won't bother. I think, can you imagine that as a table, placemats?
Oh,
for the
yeah.
Christmas table.
Oh, yeah. That'd be lovely. Or napkins.
Napkins, placemats. Oh, yes. So much you're going to be able to do that. A little half apron. I can see myself.
Oh, yes, little half apron.
The little half apron and my baby sham. I can see myself. So this is cream script that we've got here. This is beautiful. So the quality's the same. The quality exactly the same. The size the same as everything I've just shown you. This one's a little bit less expensive. So this is only $6.99. I think the others were $7.99. So you can see that quality there. The quality is exactly what you expect. Beautiful, 100% quilting cotton. And the detail on the script print, fantastic, which shows you the quality of the printing process that fabric goes through. Now we've got our green script. So I'm loving these because these are all lovely and complementary with the main panels.
They're going to work really well because actually sometimes you need something that's quite plain in there, but actually using some of these to make decorations for your Christmas tree would be brilliant. I bought one of those big polystyrene balls, and you sort of fold the fabric over them to make a bauble. I haven't tried it yet, but that's what I'm going to be doing. These really lend themselves to that.
I did that last year, where you do like the orange peel shape and you cut into the bauble and you stick the fabric in. I did that last year and I absolutely loved it. It's so addictive. Yes, it would be. I think it's also great though, if you get a couple of these planes, it makes those patterned squares go a little bit further, doesn't it? Because you can use that as a strip or a panel, a little piece and accent, and then fill out with your plainer fabrics. It makes it go a little bit further. So this is your holly on cream. Again, fantastic price. To be getting this size of fabric, which I'm presuming is 1/2 metre.
Yep.
And we're not telling you that on the graphic there, so I'll tell you all of these are 1/2 metre. To be paying £6.99, or if you're a platinum member, £5.59, is really very, very good value for money. Now we've got our holly on blue, and that's 1/2 metre as well. And then we've got our holly on black. I like this one, it's very dramatic. I would like that as a table runner.
I think a Christmas dressing, that would be nice.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That would be lovely. It's very dramatic. I like that. Maybe a hairband. You know, when you've got 1/2 metres like this, if you want to make something wearable, you can do scrunchies or cover hairbands or something like that. I think it's really nice as well. This is your 12 days of Christmas mirrored. And I wondered what the mirrored meant because I was looking for something mirrored. But I think it's because if you see here, can you see them two little, are they drummers drumming? They're back to back. So it's the mirrored image.
It's quite Scandinavian, isn't it?
It is very Scandi. I like that colour. It's very nice.
It's like gingerbread, isn't it, that one?
It is like gingerbread. So now we've got the same pattern on green. I've got it upside down, but you get the idea. Same pattern on green. And the pattern is in a pale blue colour on that one. I really like it. This is probably my favourite. I love red at Christmas. I absolutely love red at Christmas.
Do you always have red decorations at Christmas?
Always.
Always. Never been tempted to do any other kind of crazy colour?
No. I'm very, very traditional when it comes to Christmas. My tree is, I mean, we've talked about this, Ben and I, several times. My tree is very karma chameleon. It is red, gold and green. All the way.
I thought you meant you had Big Boy George decorations on it.
I mean, that would be gorgeous, wouldn't it? But no, it's red, gold and green. I love this scattered design as well. That would go very well with the panels we've seen right at the beginning, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I like that, that's lovely. And I think that would be nice for something for my granddaughters because it's nice and bright. And then we've got the scattered with and the good thing about this is as well, I don't know whether we can see, I'm sure we can because George is amazing. We've got the metallic effect on there as well. So you've got, there we go, metallic accents in the fabric, which are beautiful. You've got that on that red and you've got it on the green as well. It's absolutely glorious having that little metallic effect on there.
And it's multi-directional as well, which makes life a lot easier.
Oh, it's non-directional.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that. Oh, non-directional. Amazing. Right then, so they're all the fabrics. Let us know which ones you're going for and what you're going to make with them. Remember, when is it acceptable to put the tree up? We need to know that too. But Becky's going to show us how to do the stocking, I think, aren't you, Becky? I
am. So I've already cut out the stocking. You can see, I mean, it's just beautiful. It's really, really lovely. So there's 2 pieces here. Now, I didn't just want to make the stocking just out of this fabric. You can, absolutely you can, but I wanted to give it a bit more structure. So I've actually cut out the same shape with the sort of holly fabric, and I've put those right sides together and stitched all the way around the edge, because what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to finish it off, sew them all together, and I'm going to put a little panel of some fabric over the top to finish it off. So we're going to put these right sides together. Now this would work really well if you wanted to put some wadding in here and you wanted to actually quilt it. You could quilt around all of those different aspects of that design, which would make a really lovely kind of keepsake stocking. So there's lots of different options you can do with this. And I do like at Christmas being able to give a handmade stocking to my children. Now I'm saying that because for many years I start making a stocking and I might only make one. And then one of my children, is the favourite of the year, and one of them isn't. So this having everything here, having everything printed and very quick and easy to do, means you can definitely get around making stockings for all of your children without any hassle. So I'm just going to pin it around the edge. I'm going to stitch all the way round. I'm going to leave the top open, and then I'm going to turn it round the right way. But yeah, I think having a handmade stocking is a lovely thing at Christmas, filled with diamonds and chocolate.
Oh, yes. And some champagne, please.
And champagne?
Yes, diamonds, chocolate and champagne. Yes, please. Thank you. Santa, if you're listening, that's exactly what I'd like.
I think I like a glass of champagne on Christmas morning. But there is so much to do at Christmas. I don't really want to get drunk and fall asleep on the sofa. I've got too many other things to be doing. Like playing with the diamonds that I'm going to be getting. Tim, if you're watching. How do you play with diamonds? It's a little bit like, what's that game with Yahtzee, with the dice? You just shake them and throw them around.
And also, I also just walk around the house finding different lights to see how they sparkle.
Yes.
That's another good game with a diamond. Not that I would know, but if I had one, of sufficient sparkly capacity, that's what I would be doing.
Do you know what I really want for Christmas?
What do you really want?
A sewing machine. A new sewing machine. I have plenty of sewing machines, but I've decided that I want a different one. And actually, I was umming and ahhing over whether, I should ask for it for Christmas. And I was like, do you know what? I really need it now. And I ordered it, and they just messaged me this morning and said it's being delivered today. So that's very exciting. I'm looking forward to receiving that.
Oh,
I've got
holiday. 3 sewing machines.
You've got 3?
I've got 3. And I've got them for different reasons. So I've got one that I do quilting on, one that I do regular sewing on, and I've got a one that I take to the caravan, so one that I don't mind crashing around, make them more portable, if you like. Yeah.
That's the thing. Sometimes I bring mine, I sort of travel with one, and so it's not as... I want an industrial one this time. I want something that's, can cope with the mammoth amounts of sewing that I end up doing.
Absolutely. We've got some great comments coming through. Sylv Sparkly says, Leanne, instead of a Christmas jumper, you should decorate a T-shirt to accommodate your tropical moments. Excellent suggestion. Thank you very much, Sylv. Tammy. She told me how to say her name. She's phonetically. So Tammy, you fry check. You fry check. That's how you say it. Thank you, Tammy. Now I know, and I'll remember the next time. Right, so Team Social, Rachel, social media superstar Rachel, today she says she does her tree in mid-December, but it's her new baby's first Christmas this year, so she's tempted to put it up soon, just with lights for a while. I think that's allowed, Rachel. Christine Mahoney says she came home from teaching a painting class last week, and her son had already put the tree up to surprise her. That was a nice surprise. Claire Brunyi, second week of December for Claire. Now, this is the one that I needed to read out to everybody. This is from Linda Seals on Facebook. Linda says, my tree has been up for, have a guess, Becky.
2 weeks.
9 years.
What?
That was Debbie Robinson guffawing in the background, just in case you wondered what she was doing. She wasn't coughing, she was like, ha ha! Right, so my tree has been up for 9 years this year, with exclamation marks. I cover it with a sheet and put eyes on for Halloween, and I uncover it in November. I mean, honestly, Linda, I can't decide if that is eccentric or genius, because I mean, I hate taking the thing down, and I'm not one of these people who loves putting it up with hot chocolate and jingle bells on in the background either. So it's a chore I've got to plan in. I love it once it's up, but getting it up and then getting it down. So I think you're a genius. That's what I think you are, Linda.
That is amazing.
George in my ear wants to know, that deals with November and December. What do you do with it for the rest of the year? So let us know, Linda. Helen says the 1st of December her Advent starts. Lynn says, someone down my road has got their tree up and I got my first Christmas card delivered yesterday. So many of you also saying how much you're absolutely adoring what Becky's doing there with the stocking, and how much you're really, really loving these fabulous Lewis and Irene fabrics. They are beautiful. They're very touchable. Fabric is touchable, but these are very touchable, aren't they, Becky?
They are. They're You're right, it's got almost like a sort of satiny feel. It just feels such good quality cotton. It's the kind of stuff, actually, you know what? It's the kind of stuff that I would want a pillowcase made out of, because it would be something to, stuffed against your face would be absolutely beautiful. It is stunning, really, really lovely. I do like it a lot. So what I've done here is I've gone around the stocking. I went around the lining, and the lining was I cut it exactly the same way. So you can see you've got some festive lining in there. And I've popped that lining inside here. Now, there are different ways of making stockings. You can put them inside out and then sew around the top and then pull it over. But actually, what I wanted to do is I wanted to cut another piece of fabric, because the fabric is so lovely. And I'm just going to make a bit of a trim to finish this off, almost like a piece of binding that's going to go around here. And so I'm just going to cut that now. So I've pinned all of that. And then I'm going to choose, what fabric shall I choose? Because I love all this fabric and I brought it all with me. Like I say, I don't really want to use it because I want to keep it for myself. I think you like that one, don't you? Let's go for that one. Let's go for that one.
I love it.
So I would, you could cut on bias this way, because you're going around a curve, but actually we probably don't need to do that because it's such a small piece that we're doing. So I'm just going to fold it over like so. So I've got a straight edge, and then I will just use my rotary cutter, and I'm going to trim a piece of fabric to make that strip to go around the edge. I'm just going to press that. So I'm going to go for 2.5 inches. So I'm going to make it fairly big. It is a satisfying sound, Jamie, of the rotary cutters going through. I've just changed all my rotary cutters, all the blades and all my rotary cutters here and at home, and you forget how, I haven't cut that very straight. You forget what a joy it is to use a rotary cutter that's really, really sharp. Yeah. And you think, gosh, I've been struggling with a rotary cutter for a while. And then I discover it's got a bit of glue on it, and that'll be the reason why I've been struggling with it. Just trim that off. I haven't quite got that nice and straight.
It does feel, it's like a nice sharp pair of dressmaking scissors as well.
It is, yeah.
So satisfying, the noise.
Ones that your husband hasn't used for opening a cardboard box, maybe.
Well, mine actually took actual real dressmaking scissors and cut carpet with them to lay it in my utility room. And I'm still married to him, Becky.
Well, I don't know why.
No, me neither.
No. I mean, I was so angry with my children when they've used them for, all sorts of other things. Or my son's going, oh yeah, I just trimmed my hair with my scissors. If they've got, my scissors at home, I have a ribbon on them if they're my dressmaking scissors. And they might have a different kind of ribbon on them if I use them just for silk. Yeah. Just to make sure that they're not, no one's cutting denim with them or something. Yeah. No. But they're beginning to learn now. It's about time, really.
So many comments. Melanie D on YouTube, loving this stocking, Becky, absolutely loving it.
Good.
Rachel Norton says her tree is red, gold and green also with candle-shaped lights.
Ooh.
Claire Brunley, all this fabric is beautiful. I really need to learn to use my sewing machine. Claire, I would say if you've got the sewing machine, just get it out, get some fabric. It can be some old things that you're going to throw away, and just practice putting fabric through the needle with the foot pedal. Just sew lines, straight lines, and see how you feel, just to get the feel of it. And you only need to do that for 10 minutes, and you'll have the confidence to try your first project, I would say. Becky, what would your top tip be for someone just to get going?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many videos. Yeah. There are so many people on social media that will show you step by step how to sort of set up your sewing machine. Or if you've got a friend that knows and you're not sure how to even sort of set it up, they're all much of a muchness when you want to sort of thread a sewing machine. And there's obviously you can do things which will stop them from working, but if you're just sort of sensible. So I would say, yeah, you need to give it a whirl. And give it a try. I mean, I bought a sewing machine a long time ago, quite a sort of a special machine. Well, I say I bought it, I asked my husband for it, and I didn't touch it for ages because I was a bit scared of it because it was quite complicated. It was very, very computerised. And then I just sort of thought, I'm going to take an afternoon and I'm going to spend all afternoon just working out how to use this. And then I was like, I don't know what I was so concerned about because it's simple in the end. But yeah, you just have to give it a whirl, don't you?
Yes. dive in. I think that is excellent advice. And I was like that with, I bought a Ninja recently, Becky.
Wait,
you know, the Ninja air fryer oven
Oh yes,
things.
yeah. You managed to get one?
I managed to get one. And it sat in the box for over 10 days because I was terrified of it. A little bit to the same point that you're saying there with your sewing machine. I was like, oh my word, pressure cooker, steam, bake, steam, fry. There was all these options, 11 options, and I don't know what I'm doing. I can't. I just kept looking at it and thinking, oh my word, I can't. Now that I've done it, I would say 3 weeks I haven't put my oven on.
No.
You've just got to dive in.
I got one a couple of weeks ago, and I could not get the Ninja because they were just being sold out everywhere. So I bought another brand that someone had recommended. And you're right, I haven't used my oven. It's amazing. And I didn't learn how to use it. I got my daughter to look at it, and she said, oh yes, I know how to use this. And so she showed everybody. She read all the instructions. But my goodness, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely it is. And I think the same goes for your sewing machine. I think it's when it's anything where you need to think about it and operate it, where it's machinery, it can be very intimidating.
Yeah.
I think don't set yourself up to do a double-sized quilt. You know, do something small.
An evening dress.
Yes, or an evening dress.
Cushion.
A little placemat or a little drawstring bag or something like that where you can build your confidence. So many product requests and suggestions coming through as well, Becky.
Oh.
We've got Katie Hartley says, Leanne, I would love a stocking template and a Christmas hat template if it's possible, please. Oh, a Christmas hat template.
Yeah, that would be really good.
I think that would be really good. It's got my creative juices flowing.
Could we do it with a special kind of glitter fabric? Could we get a kind of festive glitter fabric?
Oh, can you imagine?
I'd wear that hat every day.
I would too.
Even in summer.
Me too. And also, and I'm just going to say this, for us Becky, I feel like I'm going to some kind of group where I'm just confessing now because I have to say my name's Leann Chivers and I've got a massive head. Honestly, I can't, you know, when Christmas crackers, the paper hats, Becky, they don't fit my head.
It's the same for me. It's exactly the same for me.
I've got to put a tear up the back, it's attached by ½ an inch at the top, so it'll go on my massive buns. So if I did a Christmas hat template, Becky, for us large-headed ladies out there, you could make it as big as you like.
Yeah, that would be a great idea. I thought I was the only one with a really big head, but yeah, I'm exactly the same as you, Leanne. I can't wear a cracker hat.
I can't wear a hat to a wedding, Becky. None of the hats fit, unless I was going to a milliner and she was going to make one. I have to go fascinator. Yeah. Because I can't get anything on my head.
Although I have ordered a bobble hat from Michelle's husband.
Michelle's husband?
Michelle's husband.
He's making hats. What kind of hats?
Bobble hats. He's learned how. Yeah, he's learned how to use a knitting machine. And he's making these amazing bobble hats. So I'm looking forward to having my bobble hat.
Oh my word.
Hopefully it'll fit my big fat head.
I need to check that out. Well, we're in good company, Becky, because I have the same cranial issues, really. Peggy Sue says, my mum would tie her scissors to her sewing machine. Sensible mum. Katie Hartley, oh my goodness, glitter fabric, game changer. We've done glitter fabric before, Katie. Have a look on the website. There may still be a few rattling around, but we could definitely be bringing some specifically for Christmas party hats. Leanne, Christmas hat with hook and loop fastening to accommodate different head sizes. The paper ones never fit. Sylv, you know, Sylv. Christmas hats are always way too big. They come down over my eyes. Claire, if only I had that problem. I've got to put a tear in all of mine, honestly.
So in America they don't have crackers, do they? But do they have the cracker hats at Christmas?
Oh, I don't know. Do you wear? So that's interesting for our US friends. I know you don't necessarily do Christmas crackers, Becky's right. What do you wear around the Christmas table? That's what we'd like to know because we all wear paper hats. I have to say, I ban the paper hat around my Christmas table because I sit there feeling forlorn. So we have got a whole range of dealy boppers in our house. Everybody gets some dealy boppers on their Christmas plate. We've got them with Santas on, reindeers, Christmas trees, googly eyes. You name it, we've got a dealy bopper for it in the Chivers household. What do you wear at the Christmas table, Becky?
A silly hat until I go, oh, my hair's too big and it's popped off.
Yeah.
And normally sparkly top
Nice.
or sparkly dress.
Yes.
I go all out sparkle
I
at
do.
Christmas.
All the glitter, but I try not to wear anything too heavy, and I can't do a jumper because I can't cook the dinner. I can't cook in a hot kitchen with anything too... So velvet would be out for me. I'd be just too warm in it.
I do have some of the velvet that we had on the show a few weeks ago, some of that red velvet, and I'm going to make myself a cape, which I'm going to wear, I think maybe one of the last shows that I do this year. I've always liked the idea of having a cape.
I am so envious. Like White Christmas.
Yes, yeah.
Are you having a hood on it?
Yes.
Oh, and are you
trimmed
having...
with white.
Oh, are you having white marabou?
Yes, if I can get hold of some, then yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my word, I would literally wear that to the office every day.
Well, there's a challenge. Now, I'm going to have to definitely make that for Leann, just so we can see the photos for Leann coming in every day.
Are you going to do a muff to match? You know, you put the hand muff.
Yes, well, yeah, I've always wanted one of those, but they're not very fashionable anymore. I don't think they've been fashionable since the 1950s, but yeah, I think there's something about that, you know, going to the theatre at Christmas to see the ballet with your cloak and your
hand muff where you've got the faux fur around it. Oh my word, glorious. Absolutely glorious. I am going to be watching White Christmas, the movie, very soon.
Yeah, I watched Home Alone yesterday.
Did you?
I did. I did. And Elf was on the other day at the weekend, and so I watched that as well. So that's those are the my two sort of starter Christmas films to watch.
Oh, amazing! Do let us know what your favourite Christmas film is as well in the comments. And then I've also got we can have a straw poll. Die Hard, Christmas movie or not?
Yes, I think it is a Christmas movie.
You do?
I do. I also think Trading Places is a Christmas movie.
Yes,
yeah,
I would agree with that.
But what was I watching the other day? And I was thinking, this is not a Christmas movie. It was just set at Christmas time. But then I suppose that's the same with all of those kind of films. Any film that's set when people have actually got some Christmas decorations up is a Christmas film, apparently, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got a question for you from Jerry Johnson on Facebook.
Yeah.
Becky, she says, Becky, would you tack the lining fabric at the toe to keep it in place?
I probably would have done, yeah. Yeah, I haven't, yeah, but that would be the thing to do. Or maybe just do a couple of little stitches part the way through down the side.
Yes.
If you wanted to do that.
Still.
But yeah, I haven't done that today. I'm just going to lift that up. I've just done, a very quick little loop to hang up, but it's not really, I should have done that beforehand.
It's coming together very quick though, and it's beautiful, isn't it?
So we've got
lovely
that here. So you've got your stocking lined with some of your fabric and then trimmed there, and you've got a little loop to hang up around by the fireplace.
Becky, with the exception of cutting that out, which would have been 10 minutes for you.
Yep.
In 20 minutes, you've done a stocking from scratch.
Yes. Yeah.
Which
that's it.
is fantastic. The only thing you had prepared was the cutting out.
Yeah, that's
10
it.
minutes,
Yep.
if that. Which, if you think about that, then half an hour and you've got a giftable stocking. And I think that's the thing that's put me off in the past. You've got so much to do before Christmas. You might not have half a day to spend doing something like that. But if you can, in an hour that you've got free, a little bit of you time, make something lovely and giftable. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. I love that stocking. Who are you giving that one to, Becky?
I don't know, because I can't give it to either of my children because they're just going to get annoyed. I want the famous stocking, they'll say, that we did on the TV show.
Why don't you keep it for yourself?
Yeah, fill it up with things that I really want that I probably won't get.
Correct.
I'll do that.
Do that. That's what I do, Becky. Right, this next thing that we need to look at is I love it. So if you know me, you know how much I love a bit of crochet. And we've got these beautiful hooked kits for you. And they're buy one, get one free. So it's effectively half price. You're getting both of these, the Santa and the Penguin, for only $9.99 or $14.95 today. And platinum price $7.99 or $11.96. Absolutely fabulous. And the contents in here are absolutely fabulous. They really are. You get everything you need. I'm just going to open it up because you need to see what you're getting. And again, the quality in here, and look, is absolutely beautiful. The quality of the cotton, and this is 100% cotton that you're making this with, and obviously recycled. It really does have a lovely soft but robust feel to it. It's an excellent weight. I would say that is the equivalent of Aran weight or worsted if you're in the US and you're wondering. You get your crochet hook as well, your little bamboo crochet hook, and you get your instruction booklet. So you get all of the instructions in terms of what you need to do and how you carry out the different stitches that you're going to need. And then you've got the pattern to follow through to make your Santa or your penguin. And your penguin will have the same content but different colours. And half price, £9.99 for both. You don't have to choose. And I mean, I love to crochet, and I think these little amigurumi characters from Hooked, you'd be able to do, I'm going to say half a day, but conservatively in a day you'd be able to finish it, depending on how fast you crochet, of course. But they're small projects that are, you know, a few evenings a week, sat watching the TV, or a Sunday afternoon when it's raining, something like that. And really, I think nice giftables as stocking fillers as well. Because if you think that's essentially a £5 each for a stocking filler, for somebody who's crafty, you might want to try a new craft this year, but hasn't wanted to invest, that would be a great way to encourage them, wouldn't it really? I think that's a lovely, lovely gift. Now,
and you've got the hook in there as well. You don't
yes,
have to be rummaging around trying to find the hook.
No, and you don't need to invest in any expensive hooks or a lot of equipment. All you need is a pair of scissors to snip your yarn, and you're away. Great for sitting on a train. If you've got a long train journey and teaching, somebody might be on a train today.
So Leann is going to
hours.
teach me to crochet in between shows, aren't you, Leann?
I am. I'm going to set you on your way. I'm going to set you on your way, and you're going to finish it off on the train and be proud. Yeah. That was my mission. Get Becky crocheting. Join the revolution. Right, this next deal we've got for you, this sewing deal, I always feel I need to sing it, like sewing deal of the week. Yeah, thanks, Becky. What harmony we had there. We've got these fabulous tools here, and I'm just going to bring them down and show you. So we've got our, I'm just going to read it out for you here. Create a corner tool. This is great, isn't it?
It is really good.
The Create a Corner tool, because it gives you that lovely rounded edge or sharp edge, you know, if you want a curve on the bottom of a bag or something like that. These are literally like hen's teeth or unicorns, these mermaid scissors where you've got that beautiful flash on there. They're beautiful, and they're very, very sharp. They're great little snips. And if you are getting the hooped kits and you need a pair of snips, brilliant little kit to get. And then you're also getting 4 of our fabric pens, 3 of our fabric pens, and they're the red, the black and the blue, and these are heat erasable. So they erase with friction. They've got a rubber on the end, so you can write on paper or fabric and then rub with it on the end and it will go. I just find it quicker to take an iron and put an iron on it. It disappears with heat. So you're buying all 3 of those, Becky, your corner, your scissors and your pens, and you're getting the tote entirely free.
Fab.
It's fabulous, isn't it? For £30.97, I think that is an exceptional deal. And this is a great tote bag. This is the craft bag that I use at home and have all of my tools in. It is capacious. It has got a lot of space in there and a lot of organisation, and not just for paper craft. So you can see here, you've got clear pockets, so you can see what you're getting. And here you've got all of the elastic loops for your paper craft tools or your sewing tools, or your crochet hooks if you're a yarn crafter. It will be appropriate for whatever craft you do, and very, very usable. So a brilliant deal there for you on that little sewing deal. Now, Becky, I think you've got a builder block for us to look at, haven't you?
I do. So it's the builder block of the week. It's this one here, which is the Catherine wheel from Karen Lewis. So the great thing about these ones are, so if you've had some of the builder blocks, you know sometimes they come in a big square box or a big rectangular box. These ones that we did with Karen Lewis and Joe Avery were all in these sort of slim wallets. But whilst you've got all the dies in here to make the block, we've also given you the projects to make the 3 different projects on the front. So this one, you get the project to make the bag, the quilt and the wall hanging. And you'll find with the other ones, there might be a sewing machine cover, there might be an apron. There's nothing to stop you from mixing and matching the overall design for those, but obviously the actual patchwork would be different. But you know, you could definitely sort of adapt the quilt in this one to using one of the other builder blocks, because they are all going to be making a 12-inch block for you. On the back, it will show you exactly what you're going to be getting in there and how much you need of various bits and pieces if you're going to make those projects, the fabric and all those haberdashery items. So to show you what they look like, so this is the bag, which is one of the projects in there. So it's quite a big, tall bag, looks really, really effective. And then there is the wall hanging. They do look quite different. And it's just the same pattern that we've got on there, but it's a nice easy one to put together. When you get it, you'll get all the different dies in there, and we give you a little booklet in there as well, which shows you exactly how to set it all up, how to cut everything, how many of everything you need to cut, and gives you sort of step-by-step instructions. So it's a really good item to have.
I love it. I love them. They're just gorgeous, aren't they? And the price is exceptional. I do love those sets, and that's a 30% saving I think we've got for you there today. So for only £24, I love those Karen Lewis sets because you can, if you've got more than one, mix and match and do different 12-inch blocks for a quilt. And a quilt comes together really quickly when you're doing a 12-inch block. And not too intimidating, and I think it just makes it very, very easy and accessible. They have been incredibly popular, and it is a fantastic deal. I had a question in the comments, and I just want to cover that off for you in terms of these hoot kits, just to remind you again. So I must just say who asked. Where was the question? Do the kits, so Rosalind Russell, Rosalind, do the kits have the UK-US terminology? I know the stitches are slightly different. So in crochet terms, the stitches are not different, but what they're called is different. So the stitch is exactly the same. So not to confuse, the stitches are not different, but they're called something different. And actually, it's got the little conversion chart down here for you. So you can see the UK to the US conversion. So that means if you see single crochet, so if you read double crochet in the pattern, it means if you're in the US, you would replace that with a single crochet. The stitch is exactly the same, you just call it something different.
Right.
And so if you see half treble in the pattern, you would do a half double. And if you see treble in the pattern, you will do a double crochet. So if you're a crocheter and you know that, then you will just easily be able to swap those out. So we have given you the conversion in there as well. So don't worry about being confused. The stitch is the same, the name of the stitch is different.
Excellent. I'm already confused. I don't think my crochet lesson is going to go very well.
It's going to go exceptionally well because we're going to do it together.
Excellent.
And you're going to be able to do it. Now, what are we looking at next?
I thought I'd show you quickly how to make one of the little decorations that comes with that panel because they're so cute. So I've already cut up one side. So, excuse me. So as we were saying, you could make these into, not everyone has to do an advent calendar that's 24 days or 25 days. You could do the 12 days of Christmas. So you could make these into little pockets. If you've got two people, two members of the family, you could make two different options. But they've actually been created in order to make a little decoration like so. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So very quick, very, very easy. If only I could find my scissors. So I'm just going to cut around here. I'm going to put them right sides together. And then I'm going to sew around, leave a little gap, turn it through. I'm actually going to leave the little gap up here because I'm going to place a little bit of ribbon in there to hang it up. But if you wanted to, you could do that with a small piece of ribbon, and then you could attach them to a large sort of piece of foliage and make it into more of a garland. You could fill these with some scraps of fabric, maybe fill them with some wadding or some animal stuffing and make them into sort of puffy decorations.
Lovely.
Maybe even using these to create a big kind of wreath. You could use them for decorations on the wreath.
That would be really
There's lots of options here. But they're such pretty designs. They really lend themselves to perhaps doing a little bit of quilting on them, a little bit of embroidery to finish them off. That would be a really nice sort of option. So lots of different things you could do with these here.
And if you're time poor, you could cut those out with a pinking shear, couldn't you?
Yeah,
and save yourself a bit of tidying up on the raw edges if you didn't want to.
I could have done that, and I even have a pair of pinking shears here, but I didn't think to do that.
Oh.
Silly of me, but yeah, absolutely, you could definitely do that. Or I was even thinking I could have just cut them roughly out, laid them together, and then stitched around the outside, then trimmed it. But I did it the long way round this time. So right sides together, just going to stitch around the outside. Now one thing I would say, sometimes with small things like this, I don't pin them, but actually the fabric is so smooth it does move slightly when you're stitching it, so I would suggest that you make sure that you do pin it, rather than sort of just being lazy like I am. I'm always terribly lazy.
I always shortchange myself on the pinning and then I regret it.
Yeah, it's one of those things you shouldn't scrimp on, isn't it?
Yeah. Lynn Blackledge has some, and she's Go Live Granny on YouTube, and she has some encouragement for you, Becky.
Okay.
She says, I learned to crochet at the grand old age of 68 4 years ago.
Okay.
So if Lynn can do it, Becky, you can do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a whirl. I'm gonna give it a whirl. I'm a bit nervous because I've tried it a few times. It just doesn't sit in my head. That bit of information, like I say, my left and my right, they don't stick in my head either.
Oh no, I can't do left and right. So when I'm given directions in a car, when I'm a passenger, really, I have to go that way, way.
Yeah, that's what I do. Or my way, your way.
Yes, or my way, your way.
Yeah.
Or I'll say wedding ring finger. Or sometimes I will literally look to see which hand my wedding ring finger on, and then I know it's left.
Yeah, I'm not very good left and right. And even my niece has 2 little boys who are quite small. And I remember saying to one of them, he was at nursery, and I said, oh, I don't know my left and my right. And he was so aghast. It was almost like, what do you mean? You're a grown-up. How can you not know? And I was like, oh, just one of those things that just not stuck in my head. I also don't know my 8 times table.
And that was a hard one.
I had measles when I was being taught at school, and I never picked it up afterwards. Actually, I will use my pinking shears just to go around the edge here, just to finish that off. So I'm just going to get rid of that.
I still use my fingers for my 9 times table.
Yeah. The thing is, there are sort of things that we learn at school, but you know, do you remember your teacher saying to you, you've got to learn this because you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket when you grow up?
Yeah.
Well, actually we do.
We do.
Yeah. And I think, you know, not only that, but also spelling. People have become really lazy with spelling because everything's spelled. No, we've got all these things that autocorrect for us.
Yeah, you don't have to think about it these days, do you?
No, you definitely don't. So I've just stitched around the outside here, and I've only left a very, very tiny gap because I wanted to make things really, really difficult for myself. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time just poking that through. Should have brought
so
my
while you're
chopsticks.
poking that through, we'll have a look at this next fabric, Becky.
Yeah,
and then,
good idea.
And then you haven't got the pressure of the camera on you while you're turning that round. Okay, so this fabric that we've got here is the next day we've got, and we don't have very many of these left at all. You've got a 60% saving on this, and this is our Gingerbread Lane fabric bundle. One of my favourite Christmas threaded launches when it comes to fabric. It was absolutely beautiful, and we've only got a handful left. So for only £11.50 or £13.28, you're going to get, and these are half metres, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 half metre pieces, 5 metres in total for £11.50 or £13.28. I mean, that is, for a 60% saving, that is an exceptional deal if ever I've seen one. And I'm just going to show you what we mean. So we've got a couple of extras here. You can see these pieces. This is the Gingerbread Lane cookie fabric. So if you wanted a bigger piece, and this is half a metre, for 60% saving this, £2.30 or £1.84 for that. I mean, do we even need to think about it? There's only a real handful left. It is limited stock. We really do not have very many, so it's limited. And if you want it, I mean, really. So for anybody who said, I'm terrified of using my sewing machine, I don't know what to do, buy these 2 pieces of fabric and practice. Because for £2.30 or £1.84, that, for 100% quilting cotton at that quality, is absolutely exceptional. It really is. So you can get those 2 to go along. But what I'm going to do, probably shouldn't, but I'm going to, is take the ribbon off and open up the fat quarters. Tracy will be coming for me. She'll be like, what are you doing? I'll put the ribbon back on. I want you to see the different patterns because they're so beautiful. Look, so you've got your gingerbread houses. How gorgeous is that? And each one of these, the same size piece as the piece I've just shown you, half a metre. Not a fat quarter, fold in this bundle, half a metre. So you've got those beautiful houses. You've got this, I adore this one, with a little gingerbread men and all the little icons on there. I think that's got a little fairy and candy canes and Christmas trees. Feels like Whoville, that to me, I have to say. This I simply adore. I would be making hanging Christmas decorations with this. I made strings of Christmas themed hearts years ago, and I get them out and hang them on the fireplace every year. This would make a nice addition. Then of course you've got those two that I've just shown you in there as well. So you've got two, hang on, I got that wrong. I've counted the fold. No, let me tell you how much you're getting. 1, 2, so that's 2 half meters, 3 half meters, 4 half meters, 5 half meters of fabric. It's a good job I opened them. So it's 2.5 meters of fabric you've got in there for £11.50 or £9.20. Still, whichever way you look at it, fantastic value for money and lovely patterns. I would be buying that, and I'd be adding those two to it and deciding what I was going to make for Christmas, and I would definitely be making a little half apron with this. I absolutely love it. I'm loving half aprons at the minute, Becky.
So I wear an apron that crosses over at the back. So those are what because when I used to travel to China, that's what all the ladies in the warehouses were wearing, and they keep all your clothes really, really clean and tidy. And it's got a really big pocket that I can fit 3 Mars bars in. Because I'm not interested in the whole, that's 3 inches, 4 inches. I measure things by chocolate bars.
I love that. I mean, I think I might start taking that strategy myself.
Yeah.
I think that is a very good strategy to do. Wouldn't be a Mars bar for me, though.
No.
No, it would be a biscuit boost.
Oh, yes. Although I used to like a coconut boost.
Oh, I liked a coconut boost. They were delicious.
They were good.
The new Kit Kat with Biscoff in, that's really nice. However, it doesn't supersede a biscuit boost for me. If I need a chocolate hit, if I'm feeling like I just need some chocolate, biscuit boost all the way. How are you doing? Did you get it turned out?
I did, yeah,
Okay.
eventually. And I popped the ribbon on there. So I just stitched all the way around the outside. I've done the same with that one. Absolutely, you could do these by hand. That would be a really nice activity for you to do. You could do blanket stitch around the outside of those or just turn them in. But yeah, really nice little decorations that you can make with this that particular panel. So a great item actually to be making with the kids.
Yes.
But nice and easy.
Absolutely, I really do like those. I think there's so much you could do with them. They're very versatile pieces. Okay, so what are we going to look at next? Oh, we're recapping the fabric of the week. Here we go. Fabric, thank you, Becky, that was sung beautifully. Fabric of the week, the harmonies. Right, so we've got the panel. That's what Becky's just been using to make that absolutely glorious stocking. And the love in social media, in the comments, Becky, for this stocking is overwhelming. And I do agree with you. So many people were saying it's huge. You could fill that and give it all of your gifts in there instead of a gift bag. So, you know, you're getting little surprises, you lift things out. It is absolutely glorious. A really good size. And please, I can't over-egg the quality on this. You won't appreciate it till you get it home and feel it. It is absolutely glorious. It does feel like the highest grade of cotton. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's got a lovely feel to it. The next one is Squares on Cream. So this is our 12 Days of Christmas on a cream background with all of that lovely iconography on there. That's $7.49 or $5.99 if you're a platinum member. And now we've got that same design but on this blue-green colour. There we go. And you've got all of your little metallic accents in here as well, like I showed you on that other fabric. So where you've got your 5 gold rings and these little eggs here, geese are laying, they're all in that gold metallic look and feel. So you've got lovely little metallic accents on there. $7.49 for that one as well. Or of course, if you're a platinum member, it's $5.99. You've got the same design on red with your metallic accents again. And these are all half, this is in half, I'll just show you. So big piece, ½ metre, a lovely amount. I'm just showing you in half so you can see the design. The next one we've got is a lovely complementary fabric, I think. It's that cream script. So it's not too overwhelming in its pattern, but it is going to complement beautifully. So that's your cream script. These are all ½ metre pieces. You've got your green script on there, and that is a lovely traditional holly green. It's not a bright, horrible green. It's not a grass. It's a proper holly Christmas tree green, isn't it? It really is. And then with the red as well. It's not a horrible orangey red or anything like that. It is a true berry red. It's a lovely deep red with that script on there. I love that. Now we've got our holly on cream. I do like these ones, I have to say. I think they look very, I think these would be nice on the polystyrene baubles with the punchy in fabric. I think they'll be lovely. So you've got your holly on cream, holly on blue. The colour palette works all the way through all of them. So you could choose to get one or two and you can just pick your favourites and it'll work. So if you don't want them all and you just want to pick, oh, I like those two, you can be confident that the two you get will work together. You've got your holly on black. I think that was demonstrated by the binding you put around the top of the stocking when you used the black holly, Becky.
Yeah.
We've got the mirrored design on the natural colour there. There we go.
I do want to eat biscuits now.
It does, it really does. And it's like shortbread with the patterns punched in, isn't it? Lovely. And then we've got the mirrored on green, and the pattern on the mirrored on green is that pale blue. So of course, just to bring it in and show you how they're going to work together, if I took this holly one, you can see you can take any two.
Yeah, that's perfect, isn't it?
And they will work together. So don't be scared just to choose your favourites. Then we've got the mirrored on red. Love that. Such a true berry red colour. Absolutely gorgeous. These would be nice to make cushions for Christmas.
They would, yeah.
Wouldn't they?
Well, I was just thinking, I would, you know what I'd love is to have enough of this to make bed linen.
Oh, yes. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's the scattered on red. These, with 1/2 metre, you could make a nice sized cushion for Christmas.
Yes, definitely.
Put a little bit of pom-pom trim. And then you've got the scattered on green, and it is that lovely green colour again. So all of those on the screen for you. Fantastic deal, and every single one of them is only is 1/2 metre in size. Becky, thank you so much for the time you've spent with us. That was beautiful watching that stocking. I'm really looking forward to spending a couple of hours with you later on this afternoon. So you're going to be back at 2 o'clock, aren't you?
Yep, 2 o'clock.
And that is 10 a.m. Eastern and 7 a.m. Pacific time. So thank you very much, Becky.
Thank you.
And we'll see you then. Our Debbie is now running in from the side to get set up for the shutter dies. And so we'll be back very soon. But while we're waiting for Debbie just to get set up so she can show you those amazing dies, we've got a little video so we can tell you all about why Club Inspire, in my opinion, is the best craft club in the world.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Come on, that was really funny, Ben. You did.
It was better than your I'm a gnome and I live in a caravan.
I am a gnome and I live in a caravan.
Can we clip that? We'll do it. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Many of our viewers bring up time and time again, and that's our wax seal gate.
Thinking, Joe, it might not work as well because I've put too much. Oh, I've forgotten to put me thing in place.
Because I have a way of words that I think that doesn't engage with that and can come out all wrong. Water.
That wasn't the one you just washed your brush in, was it?
Sorry. Yes, but it doesn't matter.
No, it wasn't, was it? It was. Are you kidding?
I'm going to have to say, it's a slip of the tongue. I'm going to say it's maybe to do with my Scottish accent. I'm maybe going to say it's because of Mr. Ben Mosby. He is, well, yeah, he doesn't help matters.
I've made pots that have exploded when I fired them. I've done zips in inside out. It happens to everybody.
We've all spilt our glitter all over our project or knocked the water over.
You're right.
I've just noticed I've got my dress on inside out.
So I was messing about doing some backgrounds with the sparkling, took the lid off it and managed to catch the pot somehow, and the whole thing came towards me, down my front, across my lap, onto the floor.
I went to reach for the water and, you know, do the tapping with the and so there was less tapping and more sort of a tsunami. I've got some.
It really is, in my opinion, the best craft club in the industry, in the world. It really is. And we have, I think, the best guests because they're so full of creativity, inspiration, and most importantly, fun. And speaking of fun, one of the funnest people I know when it comes to craft, the gorgeous Debbie Robinson. Hello, Debbie.
God, I've been waiting in the wings. I have really been dying to
you
get
got
on.
very excited with Linda putting a sheet on our Christmas tree, didn't you?
Just can't get over that. Like, I mean, I'm the one that doesn't put a Christmas tree up every year. I haven't put one up for the last few years. I'm
have you not?
I'm like the Scrooge of the family, like bar humbug. And no, it's only because the kids have all grown up and all left the nest.
Yes.
So I don't really bother anymore, but I am this year.
Oh, yeah.
I am this year, yeah, because
Okay.
Craig shamed me last year, so
We'll forgive you.
I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it. Get into that festive spirit. But yeah, but I've been really excited to get involved in the new launch because I absolutely love these dies, and I know already, because I heard Jamie shouting things earlier, that you're loving them too, and these are our brand new shutter dies. You're taking this gorgeous concept but making it really easy. And I've been crediting Leann for the last few days, saying, oh, Leann and the team. I did say the team though, Leann, to be fair. I did say
fair
the team.
enough. I mean, to be honest, I can't design anything. I don't have those skills in terms of getting in front of a computer and making it happen. I can have the ideas, but I have got a fabulous team of people who take the ideas and make them come real. And Jess did these in my team, Debbie.
These are honestly such good fun. I'm just going to quickly show you a quick card if I can, just to show you, because I know people ask us all the time, what's a shutter card? Well, this is that shutter card. So when you open up, it's like the lens of a camera that's the open and shutting mechanism, and it literally is a set of dies that's got loads of different apertures, and you're going to go through that in a second, Leann. But the idea behind this is to create a shutter card with ease, and it simply is the easiest set of dies that you are going to be able to get creative with on your different folds as well. It's not just necessarily a gatefold. You can, let me get that the right way around, take it into different kind of fun folds. You can go onto your boxes as well, but the idea behind it is to create that lovely open and shut effect. You're going to wow the family. You're going to wow your friends. You're literally going to wow everybody in. How did you do that? And you've got that lovely surprise element behind the back of there, Leann, in terms of when you open up your shutter, you can have a whole heap of messages. We've given you like a little helping hand with some things that we've got on there, but the world's your oyster. You literally can put whatever message it is that you want to put behind there. It could be a photo of maybe a new baby that's just been born into your family. It could be your Christmas style cards. Honestly, there's just such Such a great concept.
Yes.
And I've done it before in the past, tried to do it with a scoreboard and tried to cut out all the shutter pieces. So much faff, really lovely idea, but you've brought it into the world of craft in a very simplistic form, but creating the most wow, stunning effects. And I know you're loving them just as much as we have.
Yeah, absolutely, Debbie. Could not have said it better myself. So you have got all of these dies that you can see on the board here. Every single one of these dies is included for you. You're not making a choice. So you're going to be able to make that beautiful shutter card with an aperture of a flower, a heart, a circle, a hexagon, or that kind of extra, I don't know what that shape is. It's just a pretty shape. I have no idea what the name of that shape is, but I really like how it looks. So, an ellipse octagon. Thank you, George. We're going to, was it Jamie? Oh, sorry, Jamie. George, you can take that credit, George. You take it, George. Sorry, Jamie was like, no, it was Jamie. It's an ellipse octagon. Thank you, Jamie. But you're getting all of those dies in there. So you're getting the mechanism. This is what creates the magic. Then you're getting the shapes for the shutter, and then you're getting your little decorative pieces. And you're getting all of those 32 dies in total for $24.99 or $29.95 in the US. And of course, if you are a platinum member for only $19.99 or you're $23.96, you're getting 32 dies and the ability to create all of those different shaker card elements. And to our Debbie's point, and I'll just show you here, the wow is absolutely in the reveal, and you will not believe, I am confident you will not believe how incredibly easy it is to do. Now, you have been buying them. We are seeing stock updates already. You are really, really loving them. 20% has already gone of the launch amount that we've got, and we're just in wake-up call now. Debbie will be back with them at 6 p.m. tonight, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time. So I would say if you like the look of them, get them now on wake-up call. And of course, Debbie's going to show you how they work, but you'll have so much more inspiration later today, Debbie, when we do the full proper launch rather than the preview. So make sure that you're confident that you've got them if you would really like them. So Debbie, I think without further ado, we should have a look and see how you put them together.
Yep, and I'm going to keep this in a very simple black and white form just to start with. I'm going to bring colour in to the next demo. We're going to bring in paper pads and all the different things, and I've got planned for the launch. I've got a box in there, I've got a double shutter in there because I'm going to show you how to do the double shutter mechanism in terms of you can extend these, you can go bigger if you want to. Double gatefold in there. There's all sorts of different ways that you can use it, but it's that wow element every single time. But for this very first demo, I just want to keep it really basic because I've heard like the rumblings out there in the socials. What's a shutter die? How does it work? It looks really complicated. Let me just tell you, because of what Leann and the team have worked their magic with, is simplify this concept to create a really easy, fabulous card. So that's why, no apologies, I'm not going to apologise for this. I'm going to make it in the black and white so you can see how simple it is to put together. And honestly, honestly, because it's mind-blowing. When I first got hold of these dies, Leann, I'm thinking, oh no, is it going to be that same faff that I've had before in the past? I could not believe, genuinely, I was like literally super shocked how fast I put that shutter together. And true story, I had a class at Chesterfield a few years ago where I taught the ladies how to do a shutter card. After the 2 hours, Leann, I was like, I need a coffee with something strong in there, because it literally was 25 women there trying to get themselves sorted with the measurements, the cutting, the scoring. Oh, if this had been around, we'd have had these whipped out. We'd have probably made about 6 or 7 shutter cards in that 2 hours.
Brilliant.
So it literally is super easy. First things first, there is instructions on the back of the pack, and it is simplified in terms of measurements, down to the showing where the score line's in, how to cut your mechanism, and how to construct and put it together. And we hold your hand through the whole of that. That's how to make a standard card, and this will make that gatefold card that measures at 5 by 7 when you follow those instructions. So first things first, I've taken a piece of multi-purpose cardstock, and it measures in at 10 inches by 7 inches. We're going to put our score lines in, and this is when you are going to need a scoreboard. We've got score marks, so you can go and have a little look on the website. Might not be on the show necessarily right now, but it's definitely there on the website, so you can go and have a look. One of our core tool products. And literally, all you're going to do is pop it onto what I call the landscape, or the long edge. and we're going to make our score measurements in at 2.5 inches. So you're going to go 2.5 inches. If anybody's working in centimetres, I will just say don't worry, because the centimetres are on the other side and the centimetre measurement is also on there, because we're always aware people like both. We're not leaving anybody excluded.
No.
So literally 2.5 inches on one side, and then turn your card round and repeat that measurement on the other side. And as always, we're going to do the burnishing. So we're just going to burnish that in. This makes the base of your card. It could not be any easier. Simply, it could not be any easier. So you're going to pop that down, and that creates that gatefold part, which literally will be what opens up your mechanism. Now, the next piece, and it tells you again, the measurements are in there, and because I'm using black and white, I've just gone with that contrast. So it tells you to measure a piece of cardstock that measures 3.5 inches by 8. This is the strip that's going to create the aperture, because we're going to cut into this. But again, we need to put a couple of score lines in. Self-explanatory, it explains everything listed down there for you. And you're going to score in at 1/2 inch either end. And that's as easy as literally as easy as those measurements will be. So we're going to just pop that in. We're going to pop our little burnish line, just burnish that score line, and we'll get ready, because this is the bit that's going to sit into the centre, and that's where we're going to create, using the aperture dies, what we're going to cut out with. So what I'm going to do next is bring in the worker mechanism die. So I've got those two pieces ready. You've got your worker mechanism die. This is the one that does all the magic. And it asks you on the... can I just explain as well, there is also a score line in there. So this cuts out a full solid. So you're not having to put a score line in this, because it's being put into the metal die for you very easily. And we're going to literally pop that down. I'm going to use some white again. But again, I'm just going to hold this down, a little bit of low-tack tape. And I'll hold that down, and we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. And you need to do this twice. The power of the Gemini, you can actually get 2 pieces cut in one go. In fact, let's put those 2 pieces in one go. So let's pop that down, and then literally we're going to build up our sandwich and run that through the machine. And that places, it die cuts your cardstock and puts the score line into place as well. The only thing you have to do is do the burnishing. I mean, it couldn't be any easier. Simplicity in itself, it really is. So again, let's take...
we've had a comment in from Brown... Hang on, let me get the right person. Oh, dear me. I don't want to get... Oh, there. Betty Weaver on YouTube. Betty says, oh, my word, those shutter cards. Be still, my heart. I think we agree with you, Betty.
I 110%. Is there such a thing? But I 110% agree with the lovely Betty, because it absolutely... It's got a real wow factor, a shutter card. It's one of those that baffles people. How does it work? Well, honestly, we've just made it so simple and so easy to do. And the score line is there. You just fold that over. Again, take your burnishing tool and burnish. And that's on both sides. Now I'm going to pop a little bit of black cardstock into the base of my card, just because I want you to be able to see that wow factor. So I'm going to use our all-purpose glue. This is, again, I'm just doing it in the black and white. Wait till you add the colour. It literally, and I'm going to show you that through the next demo, and then we're going to... Later on, we'll be doing lots of other things with these, with different cardstocks. But literally now, and I've done this for a reason, so that you can see it a little bit more clear, which is why I've put that back there. But what you're going to use now is, these need to attach. Now, the best way I can describe it is you're going to put your glue or your tape. I'm going to use our tape pen for this. So I'm going to pop our tape just down
Debbie,
to the side.
Can I just tell everybody that if they're needing more tape or more all-purpose glue, we do have some very good deals in the Shop the Show category. So if you want your all-purpose or your tape pen, there's some really good deals there for you today.
Perfect.
We're going to put the details on the bottom for you. Sorry,
Lovely.
Debbie.
No, it's fine, absolutely fine. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to line this and we're going to place it. Now, this is the lovely thing about this, because you're going to be able to create your aperture anywhere in the centre of your panel. I'm going to keep it central just for this first one, but I'm going to show you different ways. Now, this tab needs to line up, and this is really important, and I say really important, it's simple, but it's really important to get this bit right. You line it up to the fold, so to the fold. You don't go over, because if you go over, you're going to create... it's not going to fold nicely. So you go right up to that very fold. The first time you do it, you perhaps could, until you get used to it, maybe put your pencil marks in where you would like it, in the centre. You could use things like that. But just for the sake of this, and it literally attaches to this flap. It's not going into this part, which is why I've put that black there so you can see. You attach it to this flap, and that literally stays connected to there.
Yes.
Again, you're going to repeat that on the other side, and if you think about how your shutter would open and close, all you do is you just reverse it. So instead of going the same way, you just turn it around. And again, I'm just going to use our tape pen. Our tape is one of the most, it is the strongest adhesive that's out there, and 22 meters of that as well. That's a lot of tape, and it's going to last you a long time. And then again, if I can just show you that this second flap, so the second part of the gatefold, you're just going to repeat that process. And again, I'm just doing it by eye, Leanne. No, when I first did it, I did actually do it with a pencil mark. Before I actually burnish it down, I'm just going to see that it actually meets in the middle, and I think you've got a really good indication there that I think by eye I've done not too bad a job.
I agree.
Yeah, and literally, if you're a bit nervous of that, a ruler, a pencil, marking, that's all you need, and it'll make it really easy. The important bit that I want to just stress, and I say important, it's just to make your life easier, is you take that tab to that fold. It doesn't go over. Don't take it back. Don't try literally, don't do anything that the instructions don't tell you, because it will make all the difference in the terms of the shutter. So now I'm happy that I've got that placement in. I'm just going to now literally burnish that, and I'm not just using my finger, Leanne, because I know that the heat from my fingers will just adhere that even more. And you can see now. Perfect. Now, we're going to bring in that second piece that we measured at the beginning. This is where we're going to create our aperture. You've got all of these to be able to choose from. All of these wonderful shapes, from a love heart to that scallop to the circle. A nice set of nesting dies as well. When you think about these are nesting dies. They fit perfectly in there, as well as being apertures. It means that you can create some really nice effects as well, because you could cut a smaller aperture out and then cut two out together to create a nice feature that sits around the centre. Again, I'll show you those as we go along throughout the day. I'm going to use the large hearts. I'm going to go in and I'm going to take the largest of the hearts for this, just for this first demonstration. And again, I'm just going to use a little bit of our low-tack tape.
Debbie, do you have a tip on how to know where to put that heart on the card?
So again,
to center it with the shutter.
Again, this, because depending where you put these, will depend on where you put your aperture. I need it to be central because I've put my my shutter part in the centre. Again, you can measure. You can do exactly the same measure. I know I'm doing it by eye, but it's only because I've done a fair few of these now. However, again, don't be nervous about this. Just use pencil, ruler, mark it, maybe take this, and I want you to think about this. When you took those flaps in, that actually measures the base of that card, so it's 7 inches. So in terms of where you're going to put you could literally take the half measurement of this, the half measurement of this, put a line, and then place your...
Centre it.
Centralise it,
perfect.
It can be as simple as that, and it takes a couple of minutes to erase that out. Take an eraser and erase that out.
You could even do it on the reverse, couldn't you?
You absolutely can, because these are nice basic shapes as well. But again, all I'm going to do, I'm going to lay that down with a little bit of low-tack tape. If you find your low-tack tape is a bit too high-tack, does that make sense? It's a really good one. Can I just tell you? We don't just give you... This is the thing about low-tack tape. In the past, Leanne, I will own up to you. I'll tell you the truth. I've bought low-tack tape. Doesn't come on a dispenser.
No.
From a brand that's out there that many people may know. And I've paid, about £7 for one. We give you three on a dispenser that makes it super easy. So you've got 3 lots of low-tack tape for less than that brand. And you'll know what I mean. You can go out and search what I mean. I'm not going to name them, but you can go out and search those brands. To get 3 of those in one pack for less than £5 is amazing. It really is. And this is fantastic low-tack tape. I use it all the time.
Debbie, Rosalind Russell, she says, I like this size. Have a larger shutter set. She must have a larger shutter set, but this size is the perfect size for mailing. Will you agree?
Yep, absolutely.
Tammy says, I've done lots of these freehand. Getting everything just right, not easy.
No,
Thank you, Leanne and team. We'll bring back the love of this card. Thank you, Pammy. Anne Kalanuskis, she says, I ordered these the other day. Wasn't even sure what they did. I'm so bad, but also, she's doing one of those. to herself in there. She's like, oh, I'm so bad, but also so glad. Charlotte Everett, I'm back. You've been away, Charlotte, you're back. Had to miss part of the show, and this was what I was interested in. We'll have to come back and watch the replay to see these dies. Absolutely, Charlotte. Of course, remember, we are back with the proper launch later today, and that's 6 p.m. UK, 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific time. So I think your clocks have changed as well. So we're back to the original times. So you'll be able to see Debbie doing a full 2 hours with these at those times later today as well.
Perfect. So I've popped that on, Leanne. Now, this is a nice simple die. And when we talk about simplistic dies, the ones that haven't got the intricacy in them, you don't need as many of your shims when it comes to the Gemini. And just because I'm using the Gemini, and obviously it's our machine choice, it's our machine that we, I always say we, and I know that I'm in the presence of the lady.
No, you are part of the royal we, Debbie. That's okay. You are part of the royal we.
But they don't go just through the Gemini, just because it's the Gemini brand. Yeah. They will go through all your other die cutting machines as well. However, with the power of the Gemini, you don't necessarily need always those extra shims. No. So for me, I know that this machine will cut out fine with just the 2 clear cutting plates and the plastic shim. And what that enables as well, obviously the longevity of all your plates and all those kind of things, you don't need those extra shims sometimes. But look what you've got yourself a lovely little piece there that you can actually use for something else. And imagine if you're cutting that out, all your pattern papers and things like that. So that's my aperture, and I have kept this really basic, Leanne, just for that first one. I'm bringing that in now because that's going to sit over the top. What I am going to do is just put some tape. Again, this is super strong adhesive tape on a roll.
I'm loving this, Debbie, because it's kind of like a little mini masterclass on how to use these. I think when you just use the plain card like that, it demystifies. You don't get distracted about the pattern on the paper, and you can just see how it's put together. So I actually think it was brilliant to do it like this, and it does feel like a little bit of a mini masterclass, which I think is fabulous for everybody at home.
Just to show you how wonderful and simplistic this die set is. My one set wonder, and I kind of keep saying it, but it's true. It is a one set wonder.
Don't you?
And what you can do as well, what I didn't mention is, to put your score lines back in, if you just give it a little extra burnish, it makes such a smooth transition when you are opening and shutting. So just make sure that your lines are all burnished, and then literally what we're going to do now is I'm tucking this under. Now naturally you would think to normally tuck it behind the back of the card. Well, that would look a little bit, for me, a little bit messy, and I want to keep it nice and neat, and I want to create that wow magical factor. So what I'm doing is, Leanne, I'm tucking those 2 flaps down together, popping that up to the top, and again, if you don't feel comfortable just doing it by eye, take your pencils, take your rulers. It takes a couple of seconds. Yeah. And all I'm doing is popped it, so I've kept it nice and neat. There's no ugliness at the back. And I don't mean that in a horrible way. I just think it creates that magic and that wow.
That nice and neat.
And then again, the same with the bottom. Just tuck that under, and you're lining it up against that bottom part of your card. Yeah. It's as simple as that. You are then going to place that down. When you're happy with where that is, again, the same thing that you're going to do, just give that a little burnish, and you've got the open and shut mechanism that works instantly. You've got all the extra little decorations that you are then going to be able to pop in. I'm just going to stick a little white balloon in there, and that's just because that's where you'll put your surprise element. We're giving you lots. We're giving you shooting stars. And another thing I'll just clear up, because I got this asked the other day. It is 31 physical dies, but it's 32 die cuts. And that is because of this gorgeous little star here. It's got 2 pieces. It cuts a solid star out and then that lovely frame star. And I'll be showing you that later. You've even got a sentiment in here, Leanne. You've thought of everything, and you've literally crammed everything in that one set. Oh. And I honestly mean that. I love the addition of the camera. I think that is super cool. And it gives off that effect with the shutter. The same with the love heart, the bow, the balloons. You've got 2 different types of balloons, a cupcake, shooting stars, presents. Honestly, it's just ram-packed full.
I mean, it's
amazing.
Unbelievable that you get all of that. If you are a platinum member, and I know so many of you are, that you're getting all of that for $19.99 or $23.96, which is phenomenal. If you're not, and you're on your journey to being a platinum member, your $24.99 and $29.95 will reduce by whichever status you are, whether you're bronze, silver or gold, your 5, 10 and 15% discounts on there. And they are incredibly easy to use. Do you have something else you'd like to tell us, Debbie?
It was just to show you now. You've seen me construct that. Do you want to see that wow? And it is a wow. So I've just literally put the heart on the front just to give it that little shut. But look at this. And when I say it flows, Can you hear the smoothness? And
Yes.
it really is super smooth. And when I say it's honestly the easiest way to construct a shutter card and create that wow factor every single time, honestly, this is amazing.
Thank
and
you.
I genuinely, and I know people will be out there, well, she's saying that because Leann's in the building. I've been saying it since I first got my hands on it.
Yeah.
It literally blew my mind. We've created
And you know what,
that
Debbie?
wow factor.
I think I've known you all long enough to know if you're being genuine or not. See if you've got your poker face on or not, Debbie, and I can tell that you genuinely do
Oh, I
love
do.
them. And they are a
Absolutely.
fabulous set of dies, and they do just make things a little bit different. It just makes it different to the norm. It gives it a little bit of interest. There are so many fabulous things you can do with them. We've got so many of you joining us in the comments, like loving that demonstration, Debbie. So many people. First of all, Jerry, can I just say thank you, Jerry Johnson, for the very lovely compliment. I always feel a bit reading them out when it's about myself, but Jerry, you said, Leann, you're such a delight to have on the show. I love your interaction with the demonstrators and crew. Do you know what, Jerry, thank you for that, but actually it's testament to the people I work with. We have a lovely time when we're here at Crafters TV, and we're really just all one big happy team, and we all get along so well, and I'm so happy that it translates for you across the screen. Thank you, Jerry. Lorraine says she's eating breakfast, watching and making cards. Yay, she's a multitasker. That sounds tiring for me. I would need a nana nap at 11 if I was doing that, Lorraine. Rosalind says, I really like this set. So Rosalind's loving it. Pammy, oh yeah, we read that before. Thank you, Pammy. I'm back. Oh, so Charlotte's back. Okay. Oh, Rosalind, genius. Rosalind says this is where all those card blanks from the card kits we've had come in handy. Yes, they would. I love that idea. Julie's a little bit late to the party, but she's really pleased to be here. Peggy Sue, Debbie, would you show the proper way to use a tape runner? I seem to be doing something wrong, as I seem to get a long piece instead of being to take on the reel. Absolutely. So what Peggy needs is the flick. I will show Thank you,
exactly
Debbie.
that.
If you could do that, and then we'll have a look at these next things.
Let me just grab a sheet just to
I
show you.
appreciate that. Thank you, Debbie.
Because honestly, and this is a question I used to get asked loads in store when I was working in store. And I know we do it really fast, and you probably don't see us do it, so I'm going to strip it back and do it slowly for you. Obviously, it's got that ergonomical shape. And when I say and it makes such a difference when you have something that fits in your hand comfortably. There's nothing worse than having something that's uncomfortable to hold in your hand.
Yeah.
This fits beautifully in there. You've even got that little ridge that you can sit your finger comfortably onto as well. Now, the way that this works, and this is, like I said, double-sided, so it'll lay down one part on there and then on the other as well. But when you're using it, and I wonder if we can do it sideways, George. Could we do it sideways so I could just show you? So you just literally put that. Another thing, and this is probably because of other tape pens that are out there, you have to put force on it.
Yes.
You don't with this.
No.
So light. So I don't want you going down, pushing down into your cardstock. It's the lightest of touches because it releases really easily. And again, that's testament to lovely Leann who's over there. And this is a true story. 25 different tests she did with these. And I genuinely, and it's not that you're a stickler, is it, Leann? It's just that it's the quality you wanted,
the quality of the
right
glue.
one.
Exactly. Yes, the quality of the glue had to be right, and I was dedicated to the cause.
Yes.
Because I was frustrated that other tape pens I'd used would fall apart in the central heating. So I wanted you to have the quality of a wet glue, but in the convenience of a tape pen.
Yeah. So what you do is then you just pop that down. It's the lightest of touches. You run that across and then just flick. And what you're doing is you're breaking the adhesive. I think what you're doing, did you say it was Betty, her name?
Yes.
Yeah, Betty. I think what you might be doing is you're bringing it forward and then lifting it off, not twisting it. And when you lift off...
So coming vertical.
Yeah, and what it does is it brings the glue with it. So sometimes you can get what I call the glue... I know this sounds gross, and I'm sorry, Leann, but the glue bogey. The glue,
it
you know, it brings that
yes.
up. And it's just because that slight little flick. And when you've seen us, you see us do it that fast that I don't think you see it, but we're all in the nature of just going straight on and flick, straight on and flick. And that's all we do. So it's like literally just giving it that tiny little bit of a twist. It breaks the adhesive. You get none of that glue coming up. And then it means you've got you're going to use your full 22 metres on your tape.
Thank you, Debbie.
And that is exactly how you use it.
Thank you very much. It was actually Peggy Sue. So thank you, Debbie. Peggy Sue will be really grateful for that. Diana Celentano, I love all the names. What a great concept these dies are. Leanne, you have a wonderful quality about yourself. Thank you, Diana. You don't take full credit for the products you produce. Coming up with a concept is definitely the main start of a product, but you give a lot of credit to your design team, who you say makes the concepts a reality. Many people don't share credit where credit is due. You rock. Do you know what, Diana? I'm so grateful for that comment. Thank you. It truly is teamwork here at Crafters Companion, and I firmly believe I have the best team in the business. So I do like to let you know when they've designed a product and they've done it really well. But I really appreciate your comment. It's so kind of you. Thank you. Now we're going to have a quick look at these Illustrator markers. We've got how much percent off these? 30%, and we're getting all of them. You're getting 48 Illustrator markers in this collection, which is absolutely exceptional. And to get 48 illustrators for £70 or $100, or if you're platinum, you're 56 or 80, is a phenomenal deal. So the 4 sets that you're getting are, first off, our landscape collection. And I love that one. You've got all of your good greens and browns, your good foliages, your grass and your green, your landscaping. It's beautiful, that. And then you're also getting the seascape collection, where you've got all of your blues and teals in there. Beautiful range. You're getting your figure collection, which is portraiture. And you can see we've got nice colours in there for whatever colour skin you want to create, from the lightest to the darkest. And that's in the figure collection. And then you've also got the sketching collection, which is just some really good bright colours. Now, for those of you who might not know or remember or would like a little reminder, our Illustrator markers are that really high quality Japanese brush nib. And it's not a fibre brush nib. It is a full, I always forget the name of it. I want to say polypropylene, but it's not. I will find out the name for it. I'm having a senior moment where I've forgotten. But you've got that really high quality Japanese brush nib on there. And then you've got this very, very fine detail nib on the other side. And of course, with our markers, you get artist quality for a fraction of the price. Debbie, I believe you've got a little demonstration for us.
I will be, yeah, because I'm going to colour one. I know it sounds really daft, but I've got one of my little cupcakes, so that's going to come in the next one.
That.
So let me just bring in.
Yes, because it's not about colouring in stamped images all the time. It's about colouring your little die cuts.
Yeah, little die cuts. Yes, I've got my lovely little cupcake already cut out there. It's even got the lovely embossed detail in there. I know it's very difficult at the moment. Well, actually, you can actually see that actually from that camera. Even though my eyes are bad, I think I can see that. But yeah, you've got the lovely embossed detail on there. But yeah, you can use these. Now, you've probably seen us use them, and I'll be totally honest, a lot of us just go to that brush nib because of the quality, the artist quality there that you get. And like you said, the lovely techniques that you can do, the flicking techniques, it lays down a lot of colour. But let's not forget, it is a dual-tipped marker, so for your precise colouring and going into, you've got that lovely fine tip nib on the other side as well. So I've just taken a few of the colours, and I think this is from the, let me just grab the box. I think this is from the sketching one that I've took these colours from. But yeah, you can lay down lots of colour. I'll go in with the brush nib first because it is a beautiful brush nib. And it does mean that you can get a gradient of colour as well. I love our Spectrum Noir markers. I love colouring, and it doesn't always have to be about colouring on larger surfaces or larger stamps. Let's not forget, you can do things like this as well. And again, you can, of course, mix a couple of, I'm going to mix a couple of colours into there, Leanne. I'm going to go in. Oh, that's a nice dark one, isn't it? Which colour is that one? That's the fruit pink PP5. But again, let's just go into there, and I'm just going to do it a little two-tone colour. The one that I've done in my demo is slightly different, but it doesn't matter because I just want to show you that transition of colour that you can get is really beautiful, and there's nothing to stop you from mixing up a couple of those colours. Going in with that little lighter brush, the nib, sorry, that does mean that you can go into those slightly smaller spaces quite neatly. And I'm using that embossed detail just to go into there. But again, these are fantastic pens. And they are used worldwide, globally, by a lot of artists out there that do sketching, that do colouring. They're fantastic pens, they really are. Oh, look at this. This looks quite a nice bright cupcake.
That's really nice. It's feeling very patriotic.
I was just thinking, same, am I going that live? Let me make sure I've got my right colours on the right ones, because I know I'm notoriously bad for popping the wrong caps on the wrong pens and then frustrating myself. So let's just put those back. And you've got that beautiful green as well. So I'm just using some really nice bright bright colours, and I'm switching up to the brush nib. But again, there's nothing to stop you from colouring little small images in as well. What a great deal to have them on today though, Leanne. That's a fabulous deal. It really is.
48 markers for 48 of our highest, and actually it's worthwhile saying to you, letting you know now as well, our Illustrator markers are the most premium marker that we have in our collection.
Yes.
So they are at the top of the tree when it comes to artist quality. And in comparison terms to other markers that are out there, they are at half the price.
Yeah.
So it really is an exceptional marker for a fraction of the cost with no loss in performance or quality. The ink, the brush nib, the delivery system, and you're saving $29.96 on that bundle, getting all 48 of those markers for your £70 or your $100. Of course, if you're a platinum member, $56.80 is a really great price, especially if there is somebody in your family who is a colourist coming up to Christmas. An amazing Christmas gift, because you know it is a considered purchase, and as a crafter we would consider about whether we want to spend that amount of money on some markers, especially in the lead up to Christmas. So if you're gifting for somebody, you would be the favourite person, I think, on Christmas Day when that gift's unwrapped under the tree, because it's a real treat to have that quality of marker for your crafting for the price that you've got today, which is an exceptional saving. Thank you very much for showing us that, Debbie. I
Just
really
a very
appreciate
quick
it.
one, yeah. What I just want to say as well, Leanne, is that, do you know, again, I know it sounds a bit of a stickler, but it's the detail, the attention to detail, the barrel.
Yeah.
Again, that ergonomical shape fits very comfortably in the hand. No pressure, and I suffer, I've talked about it a lot, I suffer from a carpal tunnel.
Okay.
So sometimes it can be painful to hold certain things.
Yes.
But the shape of this, it doesn't bring up, it doesn't flare up, and it's a lovely, lovely design, and also a very practical one because it doesn't roll anywhere.
Doesn't roll.
Pens roll about all over the place, but not these.
I didn't know that you had carpal tunnel.
Yes,
and I'm so happy to hear that from you, because actually when I designed this shape with our product team, it was because I know how difficult my father-in-law found holding things, because he had very bad rheumatoid and osteoarthritis in his hands. So he really did struggle with grip. And I took these pens home and asked him to hold them to see if he could actually use them, because that was something that was very important to me. So to hear that that's translated into a practical application, Debbie, where you can use them and feel that they're comfortable, thank you very much for sharing that. I really appreciate it. Now, we've got a really great deal on ink pads for you. Can you see I'm stacking up all of my deals here, things I want to show you. So we've got our Harmony Water Reactives here, which is a great bundle, and you've got 6 of them for your £30.50 there, or your £45.50. How much are we saving on these? A 15% saving. Now the colours in here I think are a great, if you haven't dipped into our Harmony Water Reactives yet, these are a nice staple set of colours. So you've got Lagoon, one of my very favourites, Smoked Emerald. You've got Straw Bale. You've got your Smoked Pearl. You've got one of my second favourites, Crushed Velvet, closely followed by Damson Wine. And then you've also got the Bordeaux in there. So these are a really lovely core collection. And Debbie, I think you've got a little bit of inspiration for us, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm just going to make a very quick background, because this is going to actually just tie in with my next demonstration using those shutter dies. But water reactive dye ink pads, for me, are one of probably the most versatile ones, and lots of lovely ways that you can do it. They're perfect for distressing, of course. You can stamp with them, regardless of what, you know, is out there. You can stamp with them as well. You get the lovely distress part to it, but what we sometimes forget to mention is the blending ability. The blending ability with these ink pads blows me away. I remember taking a class with Leann many a moon ago where she showed us, and I was blown away with just the way that they blend. Yes, they've got colour families, which are fabulous, from those light, medium and dark tones that blend beautifully. It's great ombre effects. But you can also mix up colours and have a lot of fun. And I, over the years, have had a whole heap of fun with our water reactive ink pads. So I've just taken a couple of colours that I personally like. I know we all have them. 2 of my favourites are fuchsia and parakeet. That deal that's on the screen, that's the deal that's on the screen, is amazing for the amount that you're getting when you break it down to all the things that you can do with it. And again, we've got lots and lots of tuition in place. What I love about them is straight away that I've gone straight onto some cardstock. This is I've gone with a watercolour cardstock with this because I always think when I'm going to do a fake bleaching technique. Yes. Always the best one to use. Yeah. But you can take them on to things like your multi-purpose cardstock as well. You just get a different effect. So you can go on to smooth cardstock. You just get a different effect. But for the optimum result, when it turns of water, because they're a water-based one where you can react with the water, hence water reactive, I always go with a watercolour cardstock. But did you notice I went straight on there? I've seen people where they take a run up to it. Yeah. So they'll take the ink and they'll run up to the cardstock. I am not afraid to go straight onto that cardstock and lay down that colour. And the way that you lay down colour is just amazing. And do you know what else is amazing? I'm going to go in with another super strong colour and I'm just going to go straight on. And I know people will say, but aren't you a bit scared of that? No, because when you want to get that blend, and what you get here actually is a mix of two colours. It's almost like a purple effect running through there.
It's like a cosmic sky, isn't it?
Just how I go back in when I want to get a bit of a smoother blend is I just go back in with another colour and perhaps go over it and create that third colour. Just beautiful. But look at that seamless. Amazing. It's honestly, they're so beautiful. So amazing. I absolutely love them. And I'm just going to go across in little stripes. I'm going to create some a background piece here, but again, straight on. If you want to use your mat as a palette, you absolutely can. Again, that ergonomical shape, and again, it's that attention to detail where you can literally take your ink applicator straight into there. You can go in and just use the tip of there with the oval shape. It fits comfortably in the hand again. You can pop it onto your glass mat, use your glass mat as a colour palette if you wish to do so. You can paint with these. Literally, just get your water brush now, pick up the paint and you can paint away. They're honestly incredible, absolutely incredible. And I'm just going to leave it there for a minute just because I want to show you. I've already got one built up, but again, just a very quick one because I can see time is literally running away with us, Leanne. And I'm just gonna have to open my pen because I forgot to fetch some water in with me. But the water reactive, and I'm just going to sprinkle some of the water onto there. Oh, I wonder if I've got enough water in. Yeah, let's just go down. Drop some of that water on. The water reacts with the ink and it starts to lift the ink that we've put down there. Splashing myself in the face then. Yeah. But again, I've just taken a little bit of tissue, kitchen towel. I like to leave it a bit longer than I would do here, but actually, to be fair, you're going to get to see this result when you peel back. Beautiful. That faux bleaching. It reacts with the water. It's not stripped back all the ink, so there's the essence of some of the ink colour underneath, but it gives you that lovely faux bleaching technique, which is exactly what I've done with my piece here. But I had a cup of water, so I got little lighter drops there.
I really
like
that.
Honestly, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Really, really like that. Carol McDaniel on YouTube. Carol says, that shutter card is amazing. Pamela Dashwood on YouTube. I think I need to do it in an accent. Pamela Dashwood on YouTube says, that shutter set is going in my basket. Straight in our basket. Just Crafty Chantel. I watch with my puppy every morning. You guys never disappoint. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Julie Barlow, the best tape pans I've ever used. Thank you, Leanne. Adriana Farias on YouTube. I started buying tape pens from blank. The mix actually came apart after a while. That was why I tested 25 different glues, Adriana. Have not looked back. CC tape pens for me from then on. Thank you so much. Peggy Sue, it's Peggy again. Do you know, I always want to sing that, Peggy. I want to do the Buddy Holly version. I really need to sing Peggy Sue when I read that. I love that. I love, love, love your name. Thank you for showing the right way, Debbie. I think you're right. I'm pushing too hard and I need to flick.
Yeah.
Thank you,
it's the
Debbie.
lightest of touches. You don't need to lay down a lot.
Yeah. And Alison Lee, she says, I used to press too hard with tape pens and always had them busting and gave up using your tape pens. So you actually had our tape pens and gave up. And then someone on here, this channel, said, just do the flick and don't press too hard. And I'm using them again and I've never looked back. Thank you, Alison. That's the sort of feedback we need. And Terry's going through crafting withdrawal. She's been doing all of our decorating and she can't wait to get back to it. Look, these shutter dies are absolutely fabulous. And to think that you're getting 32 dies in here for that fabulous price of £24.99 or £29.95 if you're not in Club Inspire yet. But of course, if you are a platinum member, all of that for £19.99 or £23.96. It's hard to imagine. It really is a fabulous set. And you see now Debbie do it for you. Creates that fabulous shutter reveal like the lens of a camera where you've got the mechanism that does all of the fancy for you. And then you've got 5 different apertures here so that you can change the shape of the outside of the shutter. You see we've used the circle there, but we've also given you the flower, the octagon ellipse, as Jamie has now called it, and the heart and the hexagon. And if you notice there, you've got some nested dies, which means you can put a frame around the outside of your shutter aperture if you want to. Sure, Debbie will be showing you that. And then you've got all of your accessory pieces in there. We have been losing stock on this. It is extremely popular. If you do want to, it's well over the 20% now, if you do want to secure yourself this set before we do the 2-hour launch later today, then get them now. And then you know that you've got them and you can sit back and just watch Debbie when she's back with us at 6 p.m. UK, 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific time later on today. Debbie, I believe you've got another little demonstration for us.
I have indeed. Add a bit of colour. I am going to, just for this one, because don't forget we've got the launch coming up later, but I'm going to repeat those measurements again. I'm going to kind of do the same style, but just this time add colour so that you can get to see the full effect and again that wow factor. So I've taken a piece of cardstock. I'm going with linen cardstock this time. We've got lots of linen cardstock in our range, and this is a part of ours, which is our linen cardstock measured in at 10 by 7 again. We put those score lines in the same place. Go to that landscape way. You're going to go at your 2.5 mark. And literally, it could not be any easier to create your base. I'm going to show you some different ways. We're going to go bigger, we're going to go small, we're going to go doubles later. I'm going to show you how to do it into a box. All sorts of different ways that you're going to be able to use these. And again, it's just a very simple, I did do that at 2.5, didn't tell Leann yet, just checking there, just keeping myself, keeping myself on my toes there. That lovely background, the lovely base of the card is there for you, done in that one fell swoop. And this actually measures in now at 5 by 7, so it's a really nice style of card. Again, in terms of your central part, you just need to take the measurements again, and I will show you how you reduce those when we're making them into a smaller one, how you make them bigger, how we do that double shutter later on tonight. But this one measures in at 3.5 inches by 8 inches, and again either side. And if you think about it in the simplistic terms, this is 5 by 7. I need that central bit to be the 7, so that's why it's at 8 inches with ½ inch tucks either side. It's that simple. You've already seen me with my background. I've gone in 1/4 inch smaller, so again I know that this measures in at 3.5 inches. To get me 1/4 inch increment, I've just taken it off, sliced it off there, so that actually measures in at 3.25 inches, and again literally just this size is 6 3/4. So I have got, and if I just tuck those in, you'll see now that perfect frame. Now you do have these dies, Leann, where you can create the and I'm just going to bring in my scalloped one. I'll bring these two first in, where you can create a simple die cut piece that will sit around there. But I'm going to show you a little top tip of how you can create it the other way around as well. Oh. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. This is when I use my dotty tape. Now then, how are we doing on stock of dotty tape pens?
I think it's crucial.
Oh, yeah, because
Jamie, what are we doing? What are we like with the stock of dotty tape pens? We're going to do a little search.
Thank you.
But I think we've still got plenty for now.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, so it's not critical yet.
Yeah, I just put the teeny weeniest amount just in top corner just to hold this into place.
Yeah.
Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, and again, all you need to think about this is I want a white border. But I'm going to do it in a 2-part. So what I'm going to do, Leann, rather than cutting through both pieces, I'm going to take the smallest of the aperture. I'm going to line it up again. Again, if you don't feel comfortable and you want to do the measurements, go again into that central with a pencil mark light pencil mark to make it easier when you want to erase that out. That's just a little top tip. Again, you will see me doing this by eye. I think later on I'll probably show you what I mean by that and do it physically so you can see there. But I want to create the aperture part, and I'm going to cut it through both pieces, which I know might sound strange, but please bear with me. Just bear with me, because I'm going to just show you now. And again, let me grab me low tack tape. Oh, it's dropped off there. Let me see if I can get that. Where was the other one? There it is. Let's pop that on. So again, I'm just going to take a couple of pieces of low tack tape and hold that down, like so, and run that through your die cutting machine. So again, I wonder if I could get away with the, yeah, I think I'll go with a lighter combination again. Do you know what I am going to do, Leanne? I think I might just hold this down with that little bit of low tack tape and hold it into place. I think, that might be the safest option.
And if you've got the MIDI, these will work in the MIDI as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. They're going to work through there as well. So I'm just going to hold that just down onto my plate. So yeah, I'm going to try the lightest of the combination. You can always add platforms or the shims to your... Words are failing me, Leanne. What's happening?
Sandwich?
Sandwich, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Do you know, my belly were rumbling. I really should have thought of that. I really should have thought about it being the sandwich. But yeah, you can always add to afterwards. If it hasn't cut through, you can add it afterwards. Doesn't necessarily always mean about adding the most pressure straight away. So I'm just going to lift that off and let's have a little peek. Now then, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So what we're going to do now, oops, Debbie, you always tell me as well, Leanne, towards you, not away from you. And guess what I just did then? Like as always, the band-aid, pulling it away. And that's when, and as I've done here, but it'll be fine, I was pulling it away, I was turning it that way, and I've ripped the cardstock.
Yeah.
You pull it towards you and do it in the gentlest. And that way you won't get that tear of your pattern
your decorative
paper.
surface.
Yeah, so, well, it's too late now, Leanne.
Too late, just go
too
for
late.
it,
Let's just get that off.
It's a design feature, Debbie.
We can do, can't we?
You know what that is?
Good job I've made one earlier.
Shooting stars in the celestial sky. That's what that is.
So yeah, so you've got options now. Then
We've
you
all
can go
done
back in. You can go back in with your larger one. And I think, do you know what I've done? I've done it the wrong way around. So I'm having one of them mares. I should have done the bigger one first, then the smaller one. However, it doesn't matter because you've got the options there.
Yes.
So what you would do is just create, again, go back over and cut that out. Now, because I have done it the wrong way around, Leanne, I'm going to have to abandon that one and bring in my Blue Peter style one. Because what it does is it creates that lovely white edge. But you can simply put those two pieces through together. And let me just remove that one. Let's just take off that central piece there. Let's get rid of that one. Popping those two pieces together, you will create that border as well. So there's options that you've got. Yeah, yeah.
It's different.
And what I've just done with this piece is, can you see I've touched around the edges? Because it's not a matte and layer I wanted to affect. I think I've got enough there with the white frame.
I agree.
I've just taken a darker water reactive one. In this case, it was the black, the noir black. And I've just softened around that edges. And it makes it pop. And I've done exactly the same with the larger bit. So that when it lays on the white...
It's like a full matte and layer, but a nice small one.
Yeah,
I like that, Debbie.
Yeah, it's just a nice way of doing it. But like I said, you can simply just cut out that aperture. Debbie, open your glue up. It's not rocket science. Pop your glue in, and I am using all-purpose glue for this.
You've got a good deal on all-purpose.
Yeah. And the all-purpose, the reason why I do use this practically in every demo is it gives me time to position. So right now you can see it's a little skew width. The lovely thing about it doesn't set straight away. It's not one of those glues that grabs and then you can't get... So if I did it with the tape pen, it's quite instant.
It is.
And when you're doing something like this, that's why I prefer all-purpose. I get the time to get it into place because we all know that the tape pen is incredibly strong, and if you try to lift it back off and move it, you'll end up ripping.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, so that's why the all-purpose for me is a perfect one.
So 30% off the all-purpose today. It's buy two, get one free. We've got the details at the bottom of the screen there if you'd like to stock up.
Now that worker die again, Leanne, I'm not going to run it through because time is of the essence here and I want to put this together, but you'll cut through two pieces. Just do the same again where you reinforce that score line. The score line's put into there for you. We'll line that up now and then we'll put that central piece in.
So Debbie, I'm just going to ask you to pause for a second.
Of course.
We're running out of time and I need to get the vote in for the end of the show. Is that okay?
Oh, right,
Debbie?
okay, yes.
So have you got your finished card
I have
there?
got my finished card, yes.
So what we'll do is we'll include your finished card and then we'll have a look at with how you finish it, but we'll include that in the vote. So
No
the
problem.
first thing to vote for is Debbie's stocking.
I wish that were my
not
stocking,
Debbie.
Leanne. I wish that were
not
my
Debbie's
stocking. That is
Becky's stocking.
beautiful.
It is, isn't it gorgeous?
Wow.
It really is. And she'd made that whole thing, except for cutting it out, in that hour.
Are you kidding me,
She
Leanne?
made it in 27 minutes, to be precise.
Wow.
And it's lined, Debbie. It's fully lined.
Oh,
I know.
Oh, Leanne, I'm not showing mine.
And then
no.
project number 2 from Becky was the little decorations.
She's
I
been
thought,
a
isn't that
whiz
lovely?
What a whiz kid.
In an hour? In an hour, Debbie. Right, so
woman's a
then, so
genius.
that was number 1 and number 2. Number 3 from you, Debbie.
Well, I'll just put the colour... I'll just put my coloured one in, shall I? But
Come
we
on,
all know where
let's have a
this
look at
thought's
this, guys.
going.
This is what you're going to do.
This is, yes, we're going to construct.
Oh, lovely.
That
I love
shutter.
that, Debbie.
I mean, come
Very
on.
good.
Come
It's
on.
got the wow, Debbie. So that's number 3. Get your votes in, and we'll just have a see how Debbie's going to put that together.
Oh, I feel like, but honestly, can I just say, wow, I think I'll be tuning into that 2 p.m. show, Leanne. That fabric is beautiful. Right, the same way that you will construct, take your base of your card, choose your glue of choice. There is nothing, honestly, better than this tape pen, in my opinion, in terms of when you want to stick that down. And literally, it's that lightest of touch and that little tiniest of flick. And I'm going to put that on both sides of those tabs. And literally, that's all you need to do. Again, placement. If you remember what I said at the beginning, this inside flap needs to be on the inside of this part of your gatefold. It doesn't need to be stretched back. It doesn't need to be lifted. You just simply lay that down. And we're going to go in. Again, I'm just going to do this by eye, just for that first one, but I think later on I will show you the way that you can measure for those people that don't feel comfortable. Again, if you've noticed, I've just taken it into that fold.
Yeah.
I haven't gone over into that central. I haven't taken it back. It's just take it to that fold, and you will never go wrong in terms of that shutter. And you can see, I think I've done a pretty decent job again. So I'm quite happy with where that is. Pop that on, give that a little burnish. And then you're going to come in with your centre panel. Again, these 2 tabs need some glue on there, so I'm going to just pop my tape pen onto there. And again, the lightest of touches every single time. And then what we're going to do is just trap the mechanism in. We're going to tuck that flap in. We're going to take it to the flush top of the card. So again, and when I say this, it is a lot easier than it looks to do this. You could also as well use a bit of wet glue.
Yeah.
You could use your all-purpose glue, so it gives you the time to manoeuvre it if you haven't got it centralised. And you can give it a little tester there to see if that's going to work. Before I actually do adhere it permanently, putting the pressure down on, I'm just lining it up, and I'm taking that down to that bottom part. Thinks looks about right. If I'm happy that it's going to shut properly, I'm then going to go in, and again, about those enforced score lines, the difference it makes is phenomenal.
It is,
and it
Debbie.
really is crucial, just for that little bit, because you get that smooth transition. And then coming back in with me for bleaching, you've got all these fabulous stars. Do you know when I mentioned that star at the beginning, and I said that there's 31 physical dies, but 32 die-cut pieces?
Yes.
This little star creates these stars, and then all the stars that come out of the centre. And I've just decorated my
Lovely.
faux bleaching, and they're going to sit on the inside panel. And I'm
Lovely.
going to bring in my all-purpose glue, as I always do.
So we're going to let you do that, Debbie, and we'll come back and see the finished one, because I need to tell you the winner.
Oh!
The winner is the stocking!
Yay!
Number 1! Yay!
And a worthy
Becky
one
won.
too.
And I think it was deserved, don't you, Debbie?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
It's sensational, that
Absolutely
stocking.
gorgeous. I don't blame you at all for voting for number 1. Thank you, everybody. Tina Jolly, you've asked me a question in the comments, and rather than read it all out, can I just say to you, shimmer ink pads or quick dry? She's making a craft card for our granddaughter, and she wanted to know which were the best ink pads to put in there. So shimmer or quick dry for you, Tina. Now, just while Debbie's finishing assembling a card, and we'll come back and see the finished one in a second, I just want to tell you about this really great deal. It's been very popular in the show. So if you want to shop ahead before our show tonight, 6 p.m, you're saving 25% on these. You're buying 2 and getting 1 free. You've got this fabulous gnome collection with those seams in there, you love this pad for those beautiful designs. That's what you're getting free. You're also getting Debbie Fisher's favourite 12 by 12 pad of the year, which is the Country Lane. She absolutely adores it, and I understand why. It is glorious. I want each one of those in a velvet cushion for my sofa. Maybe need to find someone who can do that for me, Becky. And then you also get a fabulous 12 by 12 of our cardstock here. And this is not the linen texture, this is a lovely flat cardstock, and you've got the everyday brights in there, and you can see a beautiful range of rainbow colours. You're getting all three of them for $36.98 or $44.90, and of course your platinum price is on the screen there for you as well. So if you love them, do shop ahead and get them. Have you got the grand reveal yet, Debbie?
About, because I'm just going to add a little star on top of me me birthday sentiments, nice. And that's just to finish it off and bring it in line with the rest there. Oh, I forgot my cupcake, Leanne. Oh, I can't believe I forgot the cupcake.
How could you forget
that cupcake? The only difference that I did there when I coloured it in was I added a tiny little bit of glitter just at the top using one of our glue guns. But there you go, the reveal that you get.
Lovely.
And I'll just come in. It
Thank
literally
you,
is
Debbie.
super smooth.
Really lovely.
Transition.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Now, we will be back, and Debbie will be back with those later on tonight here in the UK. It's 6 p.m. and then your 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific time. But before that, we've got the very beautiful and very fabulous Becky back. She'll be with us at 2 p.m. Which is 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 a.m. Pacific time. I'll be here for the rest of the day, so I'll be joining you on all of those shows. I'm really looking forward to some time with Becky and Debbie later on today. But now we need to go and get some sustenance. So we're going to have a little bite of something to eat. Glorious time with you. Thank you so much for joining us. Do go and check out your baskets. Do go and take advantage of those deals. Make sure that you've secured it for yourself, and you can just sit back and watch the demo. I would definitely be getting those fabrics and the shutter dies. And I'm going to go and buy the panels if there's any left. Mum or Marielle, I hope you got it for me, and I hope it's not gone. I'll see you again. I'll see you at 2. Bye.